Hello everyone, welcome back to our PostgreSQL database series. In previous videos, we learned about the between and not between operators. And today we will learn about one of the most important concept in SQL and PostgreSQL, that is null handling, using like is null and is not null. So understanding null correctly is very important because many interview questions and real world database problems are related to null values. So let's get started. So today we will learn with respect to null is like this concept we will learn today, like what null means in PostgreSQL and why equal doesn't work with null, and is null operator and is not null operator, and also we will see like difference between null and zero. So before learning is null, let's first understand what is null means in PostgreSQL database. In PostgreSQL, null doesn't mean zero or empty string or a false value. Null simply means no value exists or a value is unknown. For example, we have an employee table which we are using in our previous videos as well. We have created already. So for some of the employees don't have email addresses stored in the database. So their email ID will be null. So next thing is like why can't we use equal operator with null? So many beginner make this mistake, like they're thinking just by using the equal operator or not equal to operator, we can find the records from the database. Suppose we are using like select a star from employee where employee email equal null. So this query will not return any rows. Why? Because as we have already like discussed, right, that null is not a value. So because of that, like if null is not a value, then PostgreSQL cannot compare null using equal to or not equal to operators. To check null values, we must use is null and is not null. Um, so let's move to the our PostgreSQL, where we will see like how we can find an employee whose email is missing, or we can also find like those employees who is having the email address or email ID attached into their email or email address field. So let's move to the PG admin. So here we are using like select a star from employee, as we have this employee table. Employee where employee email is employee email is null. So let me execute this one, and simply we if we will using like email equal to null, then this in this case this will not return any data as we discussed, right? So null is not a value, so we cannot use equal or not equal operator. We must use like is null to find the record whose employee email is null, or if we are using like is not null means all the employees whose email address is attached with their records. We can see that. So except the null, those records will be discarded, and rest everything will be returned if we are using is not null. So that's all about the null and like is null as and is not null. So let's discuss about the real world examples. Imagine you are working in an HR systems and you need to find an employee who have not submitted their phone numbers. So in that case, simply we will like write a query like select a star from employee where phone number is null. So this query will help HR to identify incomplete employee record. Just executing this query only. Similarly, companies use null to check for like missing email IDs, as we see already we seen, and missing addresses, missing salary information, missing customer detail, anything. If you want to find like missing things, we can use the null like is null in the query. So let's discuss some basic like most common interview question is like what is the difference between null and zero. So as we see, right, null is not a value. Null is just a known value, whereas zero is actual numeric value. And null is represent missing data, and where zero represent like represents a quantity, like it's a zero, or it means it's zero quantity, right? Similarly, null cannot be compared using equal operator, whereas zero can be compared normally like equal or not equal operator. So if like salary equal to 0 means, suppose in employee table we have salary, and we are writing query like select a star from employee where salary equal to 0 means salary is 0. But when we are using like salary is null means salary information is unavailable. So this is the major difference between 0 and null. So today we learned about like what null means in PostgreSQL, what is the difference between null and 0, and also like why equal doesn't work with null and is null operator as well as is not null operator. And also we have seen the practical examples with interview question. So thank you for watching this. If you found this video is helpful for you, please like, subscribe and comment on this video. In next video we will learn about like aggregate function like count, sum, and average, mean and max in PostgreSQL.